Hey all, Phil here. I wanted to talk about my collection today and show you what it looks like. One of my favorite aspects of card collecting, particularly baseball cards, is sorting and categorizing and resorting and recategorizing. I I actually have a theory that people who are really into baseball, it's partly for all the stats and the numbers and the percentages and averages and ERAs and so on. That fascination lends itself both to being a fan of baseball, but also being a fan of card collecting. And this was something that when I was a kid, in the early days, all my cards that I have saved from the very early days of my collection are in terrible shape because I was just pawing at them all the time, putting them in different piles, putting them into um, holders and taking them out and sorting them around in a million different ways. And it wasn't until a couple years into my collecting hobby that I realized the condition made a difference and I started treating the cards a little bit better. But as I've rediscovered the hobby, I love pulling cards out of packs, but I think I love just as much sorting them into piles and putting them into categories. And so I just wanted to show everyone today the format of my collection, what it looks like, and how I put it together. And I'd be really fascinated in the comments, perhaps, to tell me how you sort out your cards and how you know, maintain your personal collection, what kind of system you use. So I know a lot of people go by set, by year. So it might be all your 87 tops and all your 92 Bowman and so on. And that's obviously great for pricing cards. If you have a Beckett or some online price guide, you have the whole set right there, and you can just go player by player. What I find much more appealing is to have all of the players sorted separately by set. So I have this old box here. I'll pick up my phone. This is actually, I believe, from the mid '80s. So it's a very old, decaying box. I need a new one, but it's doing the job for now. But so I have each of these first two rows has different players alphabetized by last names. The ones with the green dots are Hall of Famers. And in front of each of these cards are all of the cards that I have for that player. So just for example, if I let's shift this around a bit, if I pull out the Johnny Bench pile here, these are all of my bench cards in order by year by set. So it's a 76 Johnny Bench and an 80, 81 All-Star, 82 Fleer and 82 Donruss and some 83 Topps versions. This 87 Kmart card, and then something more recent. The ones that are either somewhat valuable or where the condition is nice, I put in plastics. The other ones I just leave out. So, it basically is everyone who has made the Hall of Fame in the last 30 or so years. There are a handful. You see Roger Clemens there, should be in the Hall of Fame, probably, but not yet. Eric Davis was just one of my favorite players from the 80s, and he'll never make the Hall of Fame. His career was too short, but I still have a tab for him. Gooden, same deal, and so on. So just go down the line here. See a lot of Nolan Ryans, a lot of Mike Schmitz, a lot of Cal Ripkins, a lot of Ozzie Smiths, a lot of cards from the 80s. And you finally get up here to the end. I actually have a separate category for Hall of Fame managers because I'm a dork, I guess. I love the Indians, so I have a whole separate category for just any Indian. They don't have to have ever had a Hall of Fame career or, even really been good by any standard, but they're just players I remember from games that I watched or teams that I enjoyed. So there's a little break, and then I have, this is a couple cards from the 70s, and then just starting from 1980 on, every year cards that didn't make it into these other categories, but are still what I consider to be good cards. And that goes all the way up to the present year. And then just at the end, I have 2 categories for 2018, 2019 rookies who, within a couple years will know whether they're common cards worth a penny or whether they're very valuable cards. So that's basically it. And everything that's in here is at least by book value and taking into account condition, worth less than $5. Anything that's worth $5 or more, I have in hard cases, and I store those separately since I have them out. There's a early Bob Feller, maybe my favorite card that I have, an early Ernie Banks, and bunches more. So basically anything that's in here at this point, I consider to be worth less than $5. And I do enjoy pulling these things out and sorting through them and resorting them and recategorizing them. All the commons I have in other boxes and other places. So these are the sort of best cards that I wanted to separate out. So that's basically it. And again, I'd be really fascinated to learn how other people categorize their collections and store them. So comment, maybe link to a video if you have a video, or if you want to make a video of how you store your cards. And that's it. I'll be back with another video in the near future.